start with this one. How's it going, guys? I am back with another video. It has been long overdue. As you guys can see, I have the red GSX here. Garage is still dirty, but you know, the car is somewhat looking good. I did a minor paint correction on it the other day. Just did a little two-stage cut and polish. But the purpose of this video is to update you guys that car is up and going again, driving it and everything like that. I ended up getting back my Yankee RPF 1s, and I have done some more updates to the car. I did the black interior, the black carpet swap. Aside from that, I'm just kind of putting everything back to original as possible. Just slowly trying to kind of bring it back to just period correct. I do have the Recaros. I did get a little sun fade, but they weren't perfect when I got them, but they're still not bad at all. Still no ripping or anything like that. But I did end up picking up another toy that I am either going to figure out what's wrong with it, tear it apart, get the motor torn apart, and maybe build another 6-bolt swap for this car. I kind of have the itch to get back at the track. Right now it is on a stock 7-bolt with just a minor worked head, no cams, and some ARP head bolts. So nothing too crazy, but I picked up this today. It's a 95 Eagle Talon. Has tons of paperwork from work that was done on it. It has a 6-bolt swap on it. The guy thinks the motor was blown. I'm an optimist, so my assumption is that I think it may be something internally, whether with the head or I don't know, just something. It doesn't sound to me like it's the motor, but again, I could be very wrong, and it could very well be that this motor is toast. But it does have some things that I need, and it has some things that I don't need. One of those being it has a built transmission by TRE. So it's got a TRE 5-speed, supposedly built stage 2, according to what the paperwork says and what the gentleman stated. Again, I have no way of verifying this, so it could very well be that it's not built and it's a stock transmission, but he has receipts, and you know, other than that, it's all there. So again, I'm an optimist, so I'm going to assume that, you know, it's all there. Everything was built from a shop, by a shop, for this guy. It sat for the last 5-6 years, and I got it for, he posted it up for $2,000. I went and checked it out. I guess I was the first one to see it. He just wanted it gone. He's expecting a baby, and we all know how that goes. The first thing that's got to go are the toys. So he got rid of it. He posted it for $2,000. Sorry, he wanted to get rid of it. I went out there, checked it out. I could hear the motor run, so the motor is not locked up. It's not knocking super hard. I did hear a major exhaust leak on the turbo manifold side, and there was oil spitting out of it. But it is a 6-bolt swap, so for those of you who have done a 6-bolt swap, you know that there's a few little things that you kind of need to do to get it ready for swapping into a 2G, which is, you know, the motor mount needs to be modified. It does have a balance shaft delete. The motor itself is supposed to only have about 60,000 miles with paperwork. So he kept all the paperwork there. It has a 14B turbo. He thought it was a 16G, and from looking at it, it's a 14B. I didn't really care too much about it solely because I was able to verify it does have the ACT clutch kit in there. So it's got the ACT clutch, which again lines up with the paperwork. The paperwork showed it had the TRE tranny, and at that same time the tranny was put on there, the ACT clutch was installed on there. So a lot of the stuff he's saying is 100% adding up. This wheel here had gotten hit, or he hit a curb. You can see the bumper piece there. He said the tie rod snapped on him, so he replaced it, threw this wheel on because he didn't have an extra. But from all these little things I saw, went and checked it out, we ended up coming up with a price of, he was asking 2,000. I ended up getting it for $500. He offered to deliver it to me hour and so away for an extra $100. At that point, I was just like, fuck it, let's just do it. For $100 of delivery fee, I mean, I'll take that. It does not have a moonroof, which is pretty nice. And I don't know. I don't know where I'm wanting to go with this. I don't know if I want to, bring it all back to its glory. It is fairly straight. It does have, a ding right along this side here. Small little ding right there. But the car was repainted by the previous owner. Before he got it, he said it was done. And it actually does not look bad. It definitely does have some, there's its imperfections there. But the worst of it that I saw was it started to kind of sun crack here. Which is, typical from it parked. And, he had everything lined up to validate that this car had been sitting. It does have an exhaust setup, which I do kind of like it. Looks pretty nice. I'm almost thinking about getting that and putting it on this one just to stay a little more low key. But I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't know if I want to part it out. I'm kind of torn. The interior is surprisingly very clean. You don't really see the talons like this. Just in general, the airbag is not all messed up. So I'm likely going to be putting that one into my GSX. But it's got, on the odometer, 190,000 miles. Has a Goretti shift knob, which is kind of neat. It's period correct. I did pull out the ECU. The ECU is an EEPROM, which is nice. Again, if you know, those ECUs are the ones required to be able to run DSM Link, and they definitely hold their value. They go anywhere from about $200 to $250. Those kind of things, when I verified that this was in fact a late model 95, meaning it was 94, that let me know that it 100% should have come with the EEPROM ECU. So part of where I made the offer was, all right, if I'm going to give them X amount, I know that at least that ECU has anywhere from $150 to $200 in value. So I wanted to kind of base my worst case scenario on that. The car does have some goodies. It's got the aluminum radiator. It does have a forward-facing engine oil filter setup, which is pretty neat. It does have the 1G non-turbo coolant pipe, which that in itself is, kind of rare, very sought after when you're doing a 6-bolt swap or just a swap in general to delete all that unnecessary coolant, being potential leaks, so on and so forth. So there's a lot that I want to do with it, but there's a lot that I don't want to do with it. I do not want another one of these projects. This one's been good to me, but I've had this one very long. I barely drive it as it is. The paint correction I did on it was long overdue. That car's been painted for almost now 3-4 years. So I'm really not sure as far as where I want to go. A part of me wants to get this running and just have another little mess around car to just take to the track, have a little fun. If I blow a transmission, no worries. If it is a built transmission, then this thing should be relatively reliable as far as breaking anything drivetrain related. We'll see. I do have a few buddies that have GSTs, some that are getting into it. So part of me is almost considering, if I do part it out, I really want to hook someone up with that transmission. I can use the clutch if it is good or not. I guess we'll find out. But right now, my game plan is I'm going to wash it up, get it cleaned up, and I want to show you guys kind of what it looks like. So I want to do a little walk around first, a little before and after, show you guys. It does have some halogen headlights, which I've never been a fan of them, but on this car, for whatever reason, it fits it. It does have the fog lights down at the bottom, little clear corner lights. And it is lowered on some iBox suspension. I believe it's the iBox Sport Lines or Pro Kits with some Tokikos. If I remember right, yep, it's got the Tokikos with the iBox Sportline red springs. So It's got a nice look to it. It's definitely got a nice stance. If you've seen my other videos, you know that I had a buddy that passed away that had a Talon that looked very similar to this. Almost the color the color itself is very close. It's not a factory color, but it was done right. They did take out the quarter panels. From my understanding, yeah, you can see here a little bit there where the old maybe paint or something was there at some point, but overall, she's not bad. She's fairly clean. So I'm gonna wash it up and I will check back with you guys right now when it is cleaned up. So got a little bored. Hit my DA setting 5. Did some cutting compound on a Hex Logic cutting pad here, and not too bad. The paint looks better in pictures and video, I mean, but definitely better than what it was. I mean, with the color, again, I spent maybe 10 minutes on this, if that. So not bad. Definitely brought back some gloss. So it's a hard one deciding on kind of the game plan. It is not a bad looking car for sure. I mean, cleaned up the headlights a little bit. Same thing with the DA, which if you guys are interested in knowing, Harbor Freight dual action polisher, really good polisher. You always want to use a DA. You don't want to burn any of this. I kept it very low as far as the cut goes. I mean, 5 is still pretty high, but this isn't a Roops or anything super high end. So if you want results that are better than, I mean, you can still see, you know, it's oxidized, but if you look at the beginning of this video to now, definitely a big difference. You can actually see some shine in it now. And if you're interested in knowing kind of how to do this, start off slow, 2 or 3, put some compound on it. You can see this right here is black. That used to be orange. So it's an orange pad. I definitely did take off some of either obnoxious amounts of dirt or some of the paint, or a little of both. But again, $500 car, $600 with the towing included for them delivering it. I have seen way worse cars, and overall, again, not too shabby. So going back and forth on deciding what we want to do. Do we want to part out, or do we want to get this up and going? I do have some chrome GST wheels for it that I think would be very fitting of the car. I will for sure pull the motor and trans, and if I do decide to keep the car, it'll go back with a factory 7-bolt, which I have an extra one, and just stock car. So we'll see. Stay tuned. Like, subscribe. If you want some videos on how to do some of this stuff, let me know. This is exactly what I used to do this car for the kids. This is exactly what I used to do the paint correction on this car. So it's not a bad unit at all for the price. This is not a review of it, but if you guys are interested in some results like this, for, I mean, I think I got this on sale for like $40. And then the cutting compound that I use is a Chemical Guys setup. So I'll probably put the link up. Oh, actually, you know, I have it here in front of me. This is the cutting compound, V36. It's under $30. It's not too bad. A bottle goes long ways. I've only actually used it on this car, and then now this car here. And mind you guys, I did not prep this.